and welcome to the latest edition of Healthy Fayette County. I'm Trish Hapa here with my guest today, Linda Fitzgerald from the Healthy Fayette County, and Tracy Burns, who is also a member of the Healthy Fayette County, and she's here representing the Whitewater Valley Art Association. So, Linda, let's start with you, and what is coming up for Fayette County?
Well, some exciting things. One of the interesting things about Fayette County that we've learned over the last several years is that our health rankings are in the pit. And because of that, that impacts our economic vitality. So Healthy Fayette County formed 3 years ago to tackle our poor health rankings. And finally, we're getting to the point where we're really going to do something to change them. Because the interesting thing is that our health rankings, which are done, by the way, by the University of Wisconsin with funding from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. But every 3 years, our nonprofit hospital, Reed Health, has to also do an assessment of our health and well-being. So we have both of those opportunities to look at and see where we are. Interestingly enough, over the years, we consistently rank 90, 91, at one point 92, out of 92 counties in health factors, health outcomes. So people say to me, what do you mean by health factors? That's the things, health-wise, that people in our community predominantly are the driving factors to keep us in the basement of our health rankings. So one of the largest is adult smoking. And I just posted an article about vaping this morning on Healthy Fayette County's Facebook group because it says that vaping actually leads to cigarettes versus what the advertising says is that it keeps people from smoking cigarettes. Vaping is actually far worse, health-wise, than smoking, but that's a whole nother issue. So adult smoking, obesity, and all we have to do is to go to restaurants, Walmart, and see the amount of people who are grossly overweight. The really sad piece of that is many of them are young people. I remember a number of years ago watching the promenade before the high school prom and noticing that many of the young women were rather chunky. And when I raised that issue, I was told, yes, that's true, and it doesn't bother them. They don't mind being chunky. When I was a high school senior, I was chunky, and I was despondent about being chunky because all my friends were exceedingly thin. So that's been a change. And what young people don't realize is that just being a few pounds overweight, particularly in the middle, what we call belly fat, is impacting their health and well-being. Impacts the heart, kidneys, liver, all of those major organs. You know, it doesn't look too good either. But to go in a store and see young people in their 30s, early 40s, riding in an electronic cart because they're too heavy.
And it's not that you want them to be model thin, scary thin, just healthy. Healthy is what we look for.
Right, and they call it BMI, body mass index. And that, as I understand it, measures the amount of fat in the body versus our actual weight. So That's what I know about body mass index. The other issues besides adult smoking and obesity are heart disease, diabetes, both of which are an outcome of being overweight. One of the outcomes. The other issue that we find in Fayette County is a lack of positive mental health. And I'm not talking about DSM-5 mental health disorders. I'm talking about getting up in the morning and being thrilled, first of all, that you woke up, and secondly, that you look forward to the day. So emotional health and well-being is an issue. There's kind of people have called it a pall over the community for many, many years. There are folks who are excited about the fact that they feel that lifting. So that piece is a good thing. So that's the why of Healthy Fayette County. There is a great fellow who wrote a book called Start With Why, Simon Sinek. It is a game changer. I recommend it highly to folks. But we have to know why we're doing something. So Healthy Fayette County, our why is these health rankings have been this way for years, and yet there have been over time folks who tackled them, but it didn't hold. And so it's one thing to start something and quite another to keep it going. So one of the important things is if we're going to make a difference, let's make sure that it lasts. And so one of the really great things, and I'm going to segue a moment into Tracy, because several years ago, 2023, Healthy Fayette County launched the Art Stroll because we realized the importance of art and culture on particularly our mental, emotional health and well-being. Communities that have active arts and cultural programs are happier, healthier communities, but they also have greater economic vitality. So what's going on in arts at the Whitewater Valley Arts Association, Tracy?
Well, we're getting ready to have some more stained glass classes. Those are our most popular. We can only have 5 people per class, so that's why they're filling up fast. So Gary Rubendahl will be teaching a workshop on September 6th and October 11th, and those are $35 for non-members and $30 for members. And you make a small ornament about this big. It takes 4 hours, and he usually has it done within 4 hours. A junk journaling class. It's going to be during fall break, and we're not sure the date yet, but we had one earlier this year, and we had over 10 people, and they want to take the class again. They had so much fun. So
What is junk journaling?
okay, so you start out that they're going to actually make the books this time. Last time I think they gave the books out and then you added to them. So what it is you take your favorite movie ticket, or you find something you really like, and you attach it to the journaling page, and then you can decorate it any way you want to. So you can use stamps, you can use paint, you can do whatever you want, and you leave a journaling area. And so you have a journal when you're done, and it's about this thick. And then you have where you can journal your day. So there's a mental health in making it. But then if you're writing down what you did for the day or for the week in your journal. So they're just really cool little journals that you can, they say it's junk journaling, but it comes out to be a nice piece of art when you're done.
And you can add to that?
Yeah, you can add to it, or you can add or you can make a new one. So I think Janine and Judy, so it'd be Janine Hurd and Judy Reno will be teaching this class, and I think they're actually working on how to bind the book as well. Some people have gone so far as to make their own paper to put in these journals. So we're not there yet.
All levels then.
So we're looking into that. And then I'm thinking about doing a rug cooking workshop October, November. I'm really busy up until that time, so I'm working on getting that started. I can take up to 15 people in that class, and that will be a 3-day workshop over usually 3 weeks.
What are
And
we
it's-
going to make if we do that?
It's a small mat, like a little 8x8 mat. It's just to get your feet wet and to seeing if you like rug hooking or not. You'll learn the skills that you can make a big rug with. So after a little bit of practice, but I've been teaching that there at the Art Association for about 7 years now. So, and then we have other classes that are coming up or workshops. And if anybody has any idea of a workshop that they want to take or would like to see us teach, please let us know. So you can message us on Facebook. You can go to our website, and they can call the Art Association also.
I took the mandala class, and that was really fun. Mr. Potters taught that, and we had a great time, and in 3 hours had a beautiful product. So,
And he's got more things. He can do another one of those classes too. So we're just going to get a date out of him for that. So,
It's
the mandala.
a lot of fun, and you don't have to have a lot of skill or artistic ability, but it came out pretty well. So that's a great class.
And-
So what exhibits are upcoming?
September is going to be Scott Russo, and Scott Russo, I think, is a master potter, but he also does reclaimed sculpture, and he does wax. I'm not sure how it's cold wax. I'm not sure how he does it, but he's got a wax sculptures that he does. He does pottery sculptures, and he paints also. So he's going to have the entire gallery in September, and we already have pieces in the front window of the gallery on the right-hand side as you're looking at the front windows. And so it has a crab that's made out of metal and wood, and he has a fish out of metal and wood, and all found pieces. I think it's like driftwood and things like that he found on the beach, and then put them together, and they're really interesting. And then he has, I think, 4 of his pots and different glazes. So I think he's gotten his own glaze. I'm not sure how he does it, but he's got a certain glaze, and the way he processes it, it's a little bit different than normal. Then he has like some horsehair glaze, and then he has some regular glaze pieces.
Wow.
So that'll be a nice show, and that'll be from 6 to 8 is the opening on the second Friday of the month, along with our art strolls from 5:30 to 7:30 on the same day. And then in October is Hector Perez. I'm not quite sure what Hector will have because he's kind of a mixed artist also. He does very beautiful drawings. He's a photographer. He's also done a little bit of sculpture. And then, let's see, what else has he done? He does graphic design. So, and then he's done painting and drawing together. So there's some really interesting pieces he's going to have too. And that'll be, he'll have the entire gallery in October. And that's going to be October 10th from 6 to 8 on the second Friday. And then again, the art stroll is from 5:30 to 7:30 during that time. And then in November is the Senior Juried Art Show. And that is for ages 60 years old and older. And that's sponsored by the Hickory Creek. And they will also cater and give out cash prizes. So,
Wow.
Nice.
and that'll be up through November.
Okay, a lot going on.
So great things upcoming in arts and culture.
Yes.
And Healthy Fayette County really loves being able to collaborate with the Art Association because we know that arts and culture, getting involved in those kinds of activities, particularly for emotional health, is very, very important. And so, segueing back into health and wellness and Healthy Fayette County. So, we know why we need to be working on our health and wellness. How do we do it? What do we do? So, Healthy Fayette County ran across something very vicariously, actually it was in my inbox, called Blue Zones. Blue Zones. Live better longer. So I said, what is Blue Zones? Well, in a short little version, a fellow by the name of Dan Boutner, a former National Geographic researcher, discovered there were 5 areas on the planet where people lived to be 100 and were healthy and still very active. So he was intrigued. He went to those 5 areas, one of which is in the United States, in California. It's a Seventh-day Adventist community in Loma Linda, California. And he researched to discover what do they have going on besides genetics, that they live a long life, they're happy and healthy. And so he discovered 9 different, called Power 9, the 9 lifestyle habits of these folks who live the longest. And he brought this whole concept back to the United States with the idea of transforming communities in the United States into healthy communities where people live longer and are happier and healthier. And they have a tremendous track record. Everything is data-driven, and so you can look at the results and know that it works. And Blue Zones is a proven groundbreaking solution that helps people live longer and better lives. So the Healthy Fayette County leadership team at that point met, and a quorum of the group came to consensus, 100% consensus, that we needed to pursue a program, a collaboration, actually an opportunity with the Blue Zones organization. We've had a number of conversations with their vice presidents. They did coffee with the mayor in March, an hour and a half of just presenting the life and history, the research, the results of Blue Zones in different communities. In the early 2000s, they went into their first community, Albert Lee, Minnesota, and in 12 months, Albert Lee raised their health rankings 20 points. Nice. Now, you say, wow, can we do that in Fayette County? Well, here's the critical aspect. Fayette County has to want to do that. It has to be important. So Healthy Fayette County is working on the premise that we can get the community ready to do the Blue Zones Phase 1 readiness and assessment. But we have to understand what our why is. We have to understand that we cannot continue to be unhealthy, because what is happening is we lose a lot of our youth once they go to college, but those who stay may not be interested in being healthy. So if we're looking at the longevity of the community, we need our younger people to be happy, healthy, and willing to make certain that our health and wellness contribute to a more economically vital community, because there is a connection, and people don't totally understand that there's a connection, as there is between health and wellness and arts and culture. There's a connection with how economically vital a community is. People want to live, work, and play where it's healthy, where people are interested, because you will have a different lifestyle, you'll have a different feeling to the community when people are happy and healthy, and where there's business and industry. And industry particularly is interested because they can cut the cost of having unhealthy employees. So, long story short, we will be bringing Blue Zones Their Vice President of Business Development, Margaret Brown, will be coming to Fayette County in October. She will come in on October 8. On October 9, she will do a breakfast workshop for key leadership and stakeholders in the community. We're working on that, pulling all of that together now. And in the evening, she will do a presentation to the general public. And she suggested that we wrap around her with music and art and culture. So the middle school choral department will provide that.
Wonderful.
So there'll be some music from the youngsters, and that's always popular. We encourage people to watch the newspaper for a series of spotlight articles on Healthy Fayette County and the Blue Zones so that people can understand what Blue Zones is and the value of having them in the community. The Phase 1 model, they would be here for 8 to 9 months. They will do, and I'm going to read from their literature. In Phase 1, Blue Zones experts will perform a structured exploration of our community and collaborate to build a plan for change. People are always scared about change. And as we've talked about this, we've had people say, the famous sayings, that'll never work. They can't say we've tried it because we haven't tried it.
We've never done that before.
No.
Yes.
No. And it's time we do it. And it's time we do it.
So, I hope that people will get involved to the level they can. Healthy Fayette County is applying to be a nonprofit. We've developed a board of directors, includes some of our key stakeholders, but also some folks who just want to see us improve. You know, Brad Coulter does a wonderful series in the newspaper and on Facebook on Looking Back, and shows photographs of when I was much younger than I am now, in which every storefront downtown was full. There was lots of cars and lots of traffic downtown. And I realize life changes and culture changes, but people would like to see that kind of vitality again. And there's a lot of good things happening, and more good things will happen if we all work together. Healthy Fayette County is a great collaboration. So,
Yes, and collaboration is so important, and we've been studying that, and through the help of the foundation, we had outsiders come in and help teach us how to collaborate with others. So we work with the Whitewater Valley Art Association, my club, the GFWC, Fayette County ESO, with the Parks Department, with Purdue University. We've collaborated with so many, and with the general public, because we have to have everybody involved to want to see this. We have a wonderful community here. The county is beautiful. We have so much to offer, and if we have healthier, happier people, then the industry is going to see it, and they're going to say, hey, we need to build something, and we need to come here and join this movement. So it sounds like Blue Zones might be our answer, and I know they're not here to just tell us what to do, but to help us work with our community on what we need and simple things that we can do to improve our health.
and they are simple things. They really are simple things.
And then we have other things besides the Art Association for Arts and Culture. Also, we've got the Imagine Performing Arts.
Yes.
They have a community band. They have a community choir. Community band meets on Thursday nights at 7. The community choir meets on Tuesday nights at 7. They're always looking for new members. They are doing some different concerts and things in town throughout the year. They also have plays coming up, open mic nights, things like that. So they have a whole list of plays that they're doing right now, and I didn't get a chance to write them down. I just got it saw them on Facebook. So go to their Facebook page and look at what they have going on, because there's a lot of stuff happening downtown. And then also, we have a beautiful county museum. And we've had the director from Maya Michelson from Indiana Arts Commission, and she was really impressed with how well our museum is curated. She's been to some that were just not very, looked like an attic, had nobody actually cleaned them up. But she said that, we have ours in cases, and they're nice and presented, and we have people that are very knowledgeable about the pieces. And we also have the Canal House. Take a tour of that. So on the art strolls, we have been working with the Historic Connersville to have those museums open. And then we have Elmhurst, and then there's stuff going on with the train that's going to be really popular here in the fall.
Right.
So.
And I know Indiana Landmarks has a tour with the auto industry, some of the enthusiasts coming to Fayette County, to the museum, and to other places of interest here. So we have a lot to offer, and we need to learn to appreciate what we have. And instead of I just live in Connersville, or I live in Fayette County, it's like, I live in Connersville, I'm a landowner, or I rent here, and this is my home, and there's so much to do. And so now remind us again about the dates for this when Blue Zone, that public can learn about this.
Okay. On October the 9th, there are 2 opportunities with Margaret Brown, who is a VP, Vice President of Business Development for Blue Zones. And she will be coming in. She will do a breakfast workshop, and that will be by invitation. However, folks who want to attend, and because it'll be a workshop, and so she will get into more in-depth of Blue Zones and what the Phase 1 model includes, and how it is a collaborative effort, and how it listens to us ordinary folk on the streets and out in the community. And that will be from 8:30 to 10:30 at the Roberts Building in Roberts Park. Then that evening from 6 or 6:30, we're still working with the start time, to 8 or 8:30 at the middle school auditorium for the general public. And we want people to come. She will give a brief presentation so that the community in general will know what we're looking at. And obviously, we'll be looking for funding for that. We have the possibility or the potential of a third of that already. So it's a great opportunity, and Healthy Fayette County is open to having more and more people involved. If we can get the entire community involved, we can raise our health rankings. We can be viewed as a healthy, happy, economically vibrant community.
Right. And in order to fund this visit in October, we have an anonymous donor, and a big thank you to Reed Health, and they are helping to fund that, and we appreciate that very much, because we have to get the initial contact and the initial word out to our community that this is coming, and it's going to, we want to be in the zone is what we're looking forward to doing, and having a healthier, happier community, healthy, happy employees show up to work every day, and so productivity is higher, and businesses see that. So it all goes from our own personal health to our community, to our work, and to our economy. So it's just, things are looking up, and we all want to be in the zone. And I thank you again, Tracy, for coming and telling us about Whitewater Valley, and Linda for Healthy Fayette County and introducing us to Blue Zones. We think this is going to be something very positive. And remind you again, on the second Friday of September is our art stroll. So come down, go through the Whitewater Valley and see this Scott Russo. It sounds like an amazing time. So we thank you so much, and we'll see you again next month.